Better late than never. Here's a recap of my most recent trip to London. Of course, there was a ton of breaking news the second I got home from London, so this recap is later than I had originally anticipated, but it's here. If you love traveling, if you love going to London, if you like some of the London sites, I think this might be the video for you. Or if you followed along on my Instagram and you were curious about some of the pictures you saw, this might be the video for you. So I'm glad you're here. The first thing I want to say is that if your name is Tammy and you were born on June 9th and you have a sweet son named Matthew, he wanted me to wish you a happy 54th birthday while I was in London. But my Cameo app was not working. I imagine it was VPN or something about being in a foreign country. So I dedicate this entire video to you. I apologize that I missed your birthday. Happy belated birthday. I adore you. And I'm so grateful that you enjoy this community that we've all built here together. Give Matthew a hug for me. Please tell him I'm sorry that I missed his message. And it means so much to me that either one of you knows who I am. And if you know Tammy, born June 9th, mother of Matthew, please make sure you share this video with her so we can ensure she sees this. Now we're back to my trip. My luggage is always overweight. It's something we have in common. The airline said, we're going to let it slide this time, but it was a warning. In my head, I immediately committed to repacking on the way home, transferring some of my clothing into my carry-on, or not bringing everything back with me. That absolutely did not happen. I bought additional luggage for the flight home because I apparently don't own enough British teddy bears. It's the only thing I share with Prince Andrew, this bizarre collection of stuffed animals. I don't think I love overnight flights because I really love sleeping, and sleeping on airplanes does not come easily to me. I sleep with my arms and face on the tray table. I disinfect it. I can't sleep sitting up, which is why I can never get a facelift. And the woman in front of me kept knocking me in the head with her chair and waking me up. Obviously a Meghan Markle fan and a monster. So I have never been so relieved to land in London. I suspected that I would be busy once I got to London, thanks to Meghan's bizarre twerking video, and I was right. I landed, went through customs, jumped in a cab, and checked into my hotel room so I could quickly get ready for Piers Morgan Uncensored hours later. The panel discussed the twerking video and whether Meghan was an embarrassment to the royal family and if Harry and Meghan were liabilities. I was incredibly impressed that the producers managed to find anyone willing to defend that video for the love of God, but they did. Later that night, I had Kevin O'Sullivan. You know and love Kevin. It was an excellent discussion about the instability around Meghan's brand. As ever, the only thing consistent with Meghan is her inconsistency. The next day, I got up early to spend some time with my Graham on his talk morning show. We spoke about Trooping the Color, how I was so excited about that, and how I come every year. And of course, the latest with the royal family and the anti-royals in Montecito. Then it was time to record Recollections May Vary with Kevin O'Sullivan. That episode did really well. I think you guys liked it. We briefly discussed Meghan's plans to accept an award on the same day as Trooping the Color, the King's birthday parade, this beautiful, bold display of patriotism and pride. Of course, Meghan Markle wants to distract from an actual event to receive a meaningless gong that's just a PR stunt for all parties involved. However, overnight, Meghan's glamorous award show was canceled due to the LA riots. So Meghan probably sat at home on Saturday night, zooming in on pictures of Catherine, Princess of Wales, over at dailymail.com. After wrapping with Kevin, I had a date with Arthur Edwards. Arthur is a photographer who's been taking pictures of the royal family for the Sun newspaper for 50 years. Everyone that meets him falls in love with him. He has so many good stories, and I can guarantee you that we'll never hear the very best ones. That man is a vault, but he's seen some things. In private, he actually allowed me to see a sweet note that Queen Camilla sent him. And it was wonderful to see how thoughtful and considerate the Queen can be. the details she included, the kindness she exuded. It was incredibly meaningful. So I wrap with Arthur, and I have a significant amount of time really between Arthur and Royally Unfiltered. So back at home, between all of the tariffs chaos, I had tried to purchase a jacket from Hobbs, London to ship to LA. It was going to be over $100. It said like duties, fees. And I was like, what? I mean, the jacket was barely $100. So what I did was I shipped it to a London store and decided I would just pick it up when I got there. So I had this break between shoots. So I went to Covington Garden, raced to pick it up during this brief break, trying to get back in time to shoot Royally Unfiltered with Dickie Arbiter and Hugo Vickers. The point of me telling you this is obviously my suitcase is not going to be any lighter on the way home. Okay. So I get back to the studio. There's Dickie, there's Hugo, and sweet Dickie has brought me one of his iconic ties. It's the cutest thing. It's the cutest thing. It's the most beautiful thing. I just loved it and thought it was so sweet. But Hugo brought me a gift too. And this is one of his new books. He has several books that he's promoting right now. He was just on Loose Women promoting his Prince Philip's mother's book, Alice. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But he was just on Loose Women with the girl that interviewed Meghan Markle most recently, Emma whatever. So I cannot wait to pick his brain. Like, what happened in the green room? What did you find out in the green room? So Hugo brought me his new book. He has several books, but Pining in Paradise is the one I just showed you. And if I had to describe it in one word, it would be fun. I'm having a lot of fun reading it. It's a great escape from the world right now. But I hope you enjoyed our episode of Royally Unfiltered because there was so much incredible royal history from people that lived it and saw it themselves behind palace walls, and just kind of the back and forth between Hugo and Dickie, two incredibly intelligent people. Insiders that are really, the word unfiltered is perfect. They never hold back. They're incredibly raw when they talk to us about what's going on now and what happened back then. So to listen to some of that royal history was really fun. The next day we filmed Heirs and Spares Pub Edition with the charming Rupert Bell. He took us back in time for some of his most memorable royal encounters. Then we had a fascinating, very fun convo with the royal butler, Grant Harold. Both episodes got great feedback, so I'm glad you enjoyed them as much as I did. After I wrapped those shows, I spent some time with Jeremy Kyle on his program. He always is getting into trouble somewhere in the world. Make sure you wish him a happy 60th birthday on Monday. I know he would appreciate it. And then the next day, I went to Hampton Court. And if you watched Tuesday's video this week, you got all sorts of fun details about my day with Philippa Lacey from British History Tours. It was a blast and an incredible experience to walk through some of those hallways and rooms. I can't stress enough how much I love the chapel. It's a gorgeous place. For visitors like myself, if you're going there and you want to tour Hampton Court, you're staying in London, public transport is definitely an option. But I decided to take an Uber and I did not regret it. I was just telling a friend, I have a friend that's going next week and I've been giving him some advice. Hello to Larry. And I said, I feel like Ubers are cheaper than black cabs, but black cabs are oftentimes more convenient. So that's a little hack. I don't know if that's actually a hack, but that's what I have to tell you. Okay. But so I did take a car to Hampton Court, and it was nice. My driver had a lot of personality. Friday, I wanted to go to Chatsworth, but my jet lag was for real and I couldn't do it. I slept in until 10 and felt horribly guilty about sleeping in a city that I love so much. So I jumped out of bed and decided to cross the street and visit the Royal Mews for a preview of the carriages before trooping the color the next day. Now, the Royal Mews it's the first time I visited, is a working part of the British royal household located at Buckingham Palace. And it houses the royal family's historic carriages and even modern vehicles. Also, to my delight, It's where the horses used for ceremonial occasions are stabled and trained. And I saw a couple of those adorable giant puppy dogs. I just wanted to love on them. So Larry, who I was telling you about earlier, is visiting next week. And I told him, if you want to feel like you've really seen something that represents the glory of the monarchy, go see the iconic gold state coach. It's, the rarely seen coach in real life, used for coronations and major royal events. It's stunning, unbelievably stunning. I probably spent 20 minutes admiring it, just 20 minutes walking around it in this room. Then I prepped for trooping because trooping is a lot. My suggestions for trooping are get up early, stay close to the palace the night before or during your trip while you're there. So your walk back isn't a nightmare because all of the streets are closed around Buckingham Palace. So you're going to have to walk unless you're staying close by. Try to position yourself when you go on the right side of Buckingham Palace. Wear sunscreen, comfortable shoes, bring a fan, maybe some snacks. I had a later hit with Alex Phillips for talk. So I sat across from the muse and watched as they prepared for the parade. And by the time I got to the parade, I got there with plenty of time to see it, but ended up kind of stuck on the left side of the palace, which is not where I wanted to be. So I just refocused my energy on getting as close to the gates, to Buckingham Palace's gates as possible once the family took the balcony, and I nailed that assignment. So go me. So after the parade wraps, they remove some of the rails and everyone floods into the mall to cheer on the royal family from the balcony or just worship Prince Louis. I don't know where you stand on that. I'm worshiping Prince Louis. So after trooping, which was amazing, I enjoyed every minute of it, especially Louis. I went and had an afternoon tea at the Rubens at the Palace. It was wonderful and peaceful, and the music from the live piano player made me feel like I was living in an episode of The Nanny. I love that for me. You could also see everything happening outside the Muse, which was fascinating. I'll tell you, not sponsored. I stayed at the Rubens. I wanted to be near Buckingham Palace for trooping. It was one of the best hotel experiences of my life. When I arrived, they had cookies and cake waiting for me in my room. There was a giant painting of Princess Anne on the wall, which I loved. One night, randomly, there's a knock at the door and they have a teddy bear for me. I was spoiled. It was awesome. So I had a special church invite that I was excited about, which required another trip to Hobbs London, and not sponsored. And I went there back to Hobbs and grabbed a couple of church appropriate outfits. Now my luggage is officially gone from heavy to obese. Then I packed my bags and went to Windsor, where I proceeded to purchase the additional luggage that I told you about. Conveniently, completely matched my other set. I hope you've seen my church video. It meant so much to me to worship with King Charles at St. George's Chapel in Windsor. My time in Windsor was without a doubt the highlight of my trip. It was magic, like, period. It was magic. I spoke to and met a lot of really special people in the 3 days I spent there. And surprisingly, the sweetest reoccurring theme was Prince Philip stories. Everyone had a Prince Philip story. He liked to be challenged, especially if you knew what you were doing, especially if you were creative and intelligent. He thrived on that. He thrived on his own discipline. He loved the sunshine, the gardens. He loved the freedom that Windsor provided. He loved a to-do list. He kept that to-do list in his head with permanent marker. He was curious. He was naughty. He was open-minded when it came to space and faith. He was such a character. And I kept saying, like, after I'd hear another Prince Philip story, I was like, I can't believe how much we're talking about Prince Philip. It's great. Also, the stories were just so sweet that I was thrilled to be privy to some of them. It made me feel incredibly special. they've just I mentioned this a few minutes ago. They've just re-released Hugo Vickers' book about Prince Philip's mom, Alice, Princess Andrew of Greece. And I'm currently reading it so that we can do an entire episode here on it. And we just learned so much about Prince Philip through learning more about his mom. And that's something to look forward to. And that's my trip in a nutshell. I had a really wonderful time. And I know I didn't mention absolutely everything, but that's why I encourage you to follow me on Instagram, where I'm much better at capturing things in the moment. But I'd like to know, what am I missing when I go to London? Because I know I'm doing a lot of work. I'm trying to see everything. And I'd love to know, what's your favorite thing to do when you're in London? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for traveling along with me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what your feedback is. What do you eat? Because all I eat is Pret. All I eat is tuna and cucumber, a tuna and cucumber sandwich, and a fruit cup. I drink copious amounts of sugar-free Red Bull because my sleeping is the worst. So I'm eating a ton of tuna. I can't believe I don't have mercury poisoning by the time I get home. Cucumbers, fruit cups, Red Bull. What else? I mean, that's really all I eat while I'm there. I did sneak a box of chocolate covered almonds on my trip with me from Trader Joe's. They got me through some tough times, but I'm not much of a foodie. So I don't even know where, but maybe I should ask Meghan. I don't really know where to go to eat. So I'd love your London recommendations, because most of you that enjoy traveling along with me have been there too. And that's what makes this so fun, is we kind of live vicariously through each other. So let me know in the comments. Again, thanks so much for watching. I'm Kinsey Schofield, and Tammy and Matthew, I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy belated birthday.